Like, I hate this job. And at the end, you just kind of go MIA, or you just go find another job, hoping that this feeling that you have will never happen again. But then, unfortunately, it happened over and over and over again. Here is some of the people. So Steve Jobs, right? Driven, decisive, result-oriented, right? Oprah. Influential, obviously, is Ellen and Will Smith. Yeah, influential, outgoing, enthusiastic, collaborative, and conscientious, Einstein and Emma Watson. And she's outgoing, enthusiastic, and collaborative. Jack is actually very balanced. Jack is actually a DISC. He is technically, we call it the chameleon. That means that he could be a D anytime he wants. He could be an I, he could be an S, he could be a C. He doesn't drain him when he is in either one or the other position. What really built our community, built us, like allowed me to understand how Monique works really well with me, and why are we all so different. How come a CPA doesn't really talk? How come Monique doesn't mind problems? How come some people are they just all about lovey-dovey? They can break the rules as long as you're their best friends. Like sometimes like, wow, why is this happening? And then one day we stumbled across this thing called DISC, D-I-S-C. And we learn about this. Oh my gosh, like this is like, if I can do this, I can immediately know who you are. If you're looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you can immediately look at them too and say, yeah, I think this is what I'm looking for, or nah, this is not working out. The reason why we created this community, because we want you to be happy every single day, work on the things that you really enjoy doing. However, we actually have hired about 2,000 virtual assistants so far. So I don't know how many interviews we have done, how many trials we have done, and we recognize a pattern. The pattern is most of the virtual assistants, when they first get their job, they don't really know whether they like the job or not. They just know that maybe they're good at it, maybe because the money is good. And then sometimes they just realize, man, this job is really draining my energy. Like, I hate this job. And at the end, you just kind of go MIA, or you just go find another job, hoping that this feeling that you have will never happen again. But then, unfortunately, it happened over and over and over again until you find out what this is really about. Today, we're going to be talking to you about this thing called the DISC. And this is actually one of the personality assessment that we have done. We have many other ones like human design, 6 human needs, 16 personality, 5 elements, so on and so forth. Like, I'm a nerd at like getting to know you before I'm getting to know you. So that is where we're gonna peel the curtain open. If you think that this is something that's super interested and you're like, man, I couldn't really find my dream job, I'm not sure why. Well, stay tuned. And in the meanwhile, feel free to share the link with any of your friends, putting it on your Facebook, and the way more people is going to get to know this channel, because ultimately life, it is short, and we do not want you to work on a job that you hate because you're making some money, and then you make your whole family and your friends are all miserable and upset, and then you have to get into drugs or get into alcohol, become fat. Like, that is not what we want, but that is where most people going towards. So we're trying to pull you back. Here is the DISC profile. The very first one is obviously D. It's exactly like it is. It's red, and that means that you're dominant, you're really like result-oriented, you are a driver, you are also very competitive. And then if you are an I, that means that you're influential, you're very influencing, you're all about people and relationship, about friendship, you like to talk a lot, you're all about persuasive, inspiring, enthusiastic. And both D and I, you are outgoing, you're not worried about confrontation, and you're very active. I would say active is a better word. And then you will go down to it will be S. S means that you are a stable person, you are amiable, democratic, you are patient, you are the people that can do the same thing over and over again. But then you're also pretty good with people, because I and S, they are people oriented. So you are actually very good at like customer service, sales position. As long as it's related to talking to people, you're actually pretty good at it. You can see D and I, they are good at like being active. And then I and S is more people oriented. And then we are going to C. C is conscientious, cautious people. They are more analytical. They are more detail oriented. They're more systematic. They're usually pretty quiet, because you can see C and S, they are more reserved. And then you can also see C and D, they're more task oriented. If somebody's in the D or C column, they're usually more quiet, they're doing more task related. D people are not as afraid of confrontation, but C people, they are more fear-based. They actually do not really like confrontation too, but they hate error even more. CPA, like bookkeeper, is really good at the C area. And they're usually at the C area, they're usually quiet, but they're always like pretty accurate too. Let me tell you why. So Monique, she is a DI. So she's very dominant and she's very influential. So she doesn't really mind confrontation, because she's an I, so she doesn't mind talking to clients. So she was almost like the perfect match for me, because she complete me. We literally complement each other And that was usually what like client is looking for when they are looking to complete their whole picture, to work on what they are weak on. So ultimately what we want you to do is, after this podcast, we want you to take your DISC assessment and then read the description and really get to know yourself more. Because in order for you to really find the perfect job, you really, really, really need to get to know yourself. So again, enjoy your day, and we look forward to see you very soon.